Hello and welcome to No Skips, the show where we talk about albums where you don't skip any songs on it. That's right. Today we are talking about the album from Kings of Leon, Only by the Night. This album came out in 2008, and I'm hoping that this video will find some Kings of Leon fans because I'm kind of curious to get their thoughts on this one because I feel like this was the album that made a lot of people Kings of Leon fans. But this album came out in 2008, as I already said. September of 2008, if you want the specific time frame. And it is about 43 minutes long. I'll round up because it's 42 minutes and 55 seconds. I'll round up. It is 43 minutes long. And this album had 11 songs on it, and 6 of them went on to be singles from this album. So 11 songs, 6 singles in a time frame when singles meant something. Like it meant something. It was an accomplishment when the record label comes to you and says, we need another song because people have already eaten up whatever you put out before and they want more. They're coming back for seconds. In this case, they came back for 6 rounds of Kings of Leon with this album, Only by the Night. The singles, Sex on Fire. Remember that one? That was a great song. Use Somebody. That's one of my favorites off of the album. Revelry is another one that was a single. Notion was another single. Crawl was another single. And Frontier City came out on the re-release. That was another single that came out on the re-release of this album in 2010 and 2011. That's how popular this album was that they said we should release it again. That's usually a pretty good sign when your record label wants you to do it again. But taking a look here at some of the other songs that weren't singles, my favorite Kings of Leon song, it is right from the jump. The first song on this thing called Closer. That is my favorite Kings of Leon song. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to try to describe a feeling that if you've never been to a live concert before, you're not going to understand. And I get that, and that's okay. But to me, why I love the song Closer is because it gradually builds throughout the entire song. And the beginning of it sounds like when you're about 30 seconds from the band starting to play live, lights are still down, right? You haven't seen the band's shadows kind of come on to the stage yet. You're just starting to see them. Maybe the drummer comes out and then the guitarist comes out and you're anxious because you're like, I know something's about to happen, but I don't know when. That to me is Closer. I feel like they bottled that feeling in that song because as I'm listening to it, I can picture the crowd getting antsy for that song. And I have seen some concert footage of Kings of Leon, especially back in 2008, when they did open up with that song a couple times. And that kind of helps to the, illusion that I have in my head, the image that I have in my head. And so, like I said, that's my favorite Kings of Leon song just because of how it starts, how it builds, and the payoff at the end. I really, really love that song. And listen, I love Sex on Fire and I love Use Somebody as well. Those are both great songs too. I think Use Somebody, if I'm not mistaken, has a wicked guitar solo. So maybe check that out if you haven't already. Again, if I'm talking to Kings of Leon's fans, I'm kind of preaching to the choir and I get that. But I'm just curious, do you agree with me that this is a no skips album, that it's 43 minutes of greatness? You let me know on that. Because to me, it is. Now, I will say, outside of this album, I have not really listened to the other stuff Kings of Leon has put out. So I'm not going to try to sit here and say, oh, the rest of the stuff they came out with is fantastic, because I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But I would definitely encourage you to listen to this album and then go see about their other stuff. I always want to encourage people to do that because, again, I don't want to speak from a place that I don't know. Okay, but I know in my bones, to my core, okay, that this is a no skips album. So you listen to it and you tell me what you think. Did you skip any songs on this album? Again, it had 14 tracks when they released the original version of this album. It had 5 singles. They re-released it, gave it a 6th single. The record label thought it was good. Fans of Kings of Leon thought it was good. Will you think it's good? That's the question. Once you listen to it, let me know below, okay, what you thought of this album. Kings of Leon, Only by the Night from 2008. It is a no skips album. Take the 43 minutes You owe it to yourself on this one. Take the 43 minutes and enjoy some great rock music. And I will say, if you are a fan of the band U2, listen to Kings of Leon. I'm not saying that Kings of Leon is as good or better than U2, but there are some elements, especially in the way they, like I said, how they build the songs up and the guitar playing. There are some elements that you might say, ooh, that's a little similar when it hits your ear, and you're going to enjoy it. Okay. So if you're a U2 fan who's never listened to Kings of Leon, check them out. You might really, really enjoy what they do, because I know I do. With all that being said, my friends, that's your No Skip album for this week. Hey, I will talk with you again next week. Be good to yourself, be good to others in that order. I'll see you soon.